Ethan Carter packed his truck for a 4-day trip to visit his parents. Before leaving, he checked every security camera around his property. Everything looked peaceful, and his driveway was in perfect condition. He had no idea that by the time he returned, his home would become the center of a county investigation. With his house safely locked, Ethan headed out of town. Miles away from the neighborhood, he enjoyed the quiet drive without a single concern. Back home, however, someone was already making plans involving his property. HOA President Victoria Hayes noticed Ethan's empty driveway and smiled. She believed his driveway violated neighborhood appearance standards. Without speaking to the homeowner, she decided immediate action was necessary. The following morning, heavy construction equipment rolled into the neighborhood. Workers followed instructions from Victoria, believing the project had proper authorization. Neighbors stepped outside, confused about what was happening. Within minutes, the excavator began removing large sections of Ethan's driveway. Thick concrete cracked apart under the machine while curious neighbors watched from across the street. No one had seen Ethan approve any construction. Many residents found the project unusual. Several neighbors began recording videos because they couldn't understand why an occupied home's driveway was being demolished while the owner was away. The videos quickly spread through the community. Victoria remained calm as workers continued digging. She insisted everything was completely within HOA authority. Her confidence convinced the crew to continue without asking additional questions. As more concrete disappeared, workers uncovered drainage infrastructure beneath the driveway. The unexpected discovery forced the excavator operator to stop. Suddenly, the project looked far more complicated than anyone expected. The construction supervisor realized underground infrastructure had been exposed. Wanting to avoid problems, he contacted the county engineering office to report the unexpected situation. That single phone call changed everything. A county inspection vehicle arrived only minutes later. The inspector carefully examined the excavation before turning toward the construction crew. His very first question left everyone standing in complete silence. "Can I see the excavation permit for this work?" The county inspector calmly introduced himself and asked to review the excavation permit. Victoria confidently claimed the HOA had authorized the work. The inspector politely explained that HOA approval and county authorization were two completely different things. Victoria searched through her paperwork but couldn't find a county permit. The board members exchanged worried glances. For the first time that day, confidence began turning into uncertainty. After inspecting the exposed drainage system, the county inspector became more serious. He explained that work involving public drainage required official approval before excavation could begin. Every worker listened carefully. The construction supervisor explained that his company believed all permits had already been secured. The inspector appreciated the honesty and asked who had hired the crew. Every eye slowly turned toward Victoria. The neighbors watched quietly as the situation changed. Earlier confidence had disappeared, replaced by uncomfortable silence. Several residents continued recording everything happening in front of Ethan's house. Hundreds of miles away, Ethan's phone suddenly filled with security alerts. He opened the live camera feed and froze. His driveway had been torn apart by heavy construction equipment. Ethan replayed the footage several times, hoping he had misunderstood what he was seeing. The excavator, workers, and HOA president were all clearly visible. Every camera angle confirmed the same unbelievable scene. Without wasting another minute, Ethan called the county officers to report what he had seen. The representative confirmed that an inspector was already at the property. Ethan immediately turned his truck around and headed home. The drive home felt longer than ever before. Ethan kept thinking about the damage waiting for him. He hoped the county would prevent any additional work before he arrived. After completing his inspection, the county inspector ordered all work to stop until the proper documentation could be reviewed. The excavator fell silent, and the crew secured the site. By the time Ethan reached the neighborhood, nothing would be happening except a lot of unanswered questions. Ethan arrived home just before sunset. The first thing he saw was a pile of broken concrete covering his front yard. His perfectly maintained driveway had been turned into a construction site without his knowledge. The county inspector introduced himself and explained everything that had happened during the day. He confirmed that the excavation had already been stopped. Ethan listened carefully before asking the one question everyone had avoided. Ethan opened the security camera recording stored in the cloud. Every moment of the excavation had been captured from multiple angles. The inspector quietly reviewed the footage, making several notes on his clipboard. The inspector checked the county permit database once again. After several minutes, he confirmed there had never been an approved excavation permit for Ethan's address. The discovery made the situation even more serious. Victoria insisted she believed the HOA had authority to remove the driveway because of a neighborhood appearance rule. The inspector calmly explained that HOA rules could not replace county construction regulations. Several neighbors nodded in agreement. The construction supervisor provided every document his company had received before starting the project. None of the paperwork included a county excavation permit. The inspector carefully added each document to his investigation file. Neighbors stepped forward with videos they had recorded throughout the day. Each recording showed the same sequence of events from different angles. Together, they created a complete timeline of what had happened. County employees carefully documented every section of the damaged driveway. Measurements, photographs, and inspection notes were collected before anyone was allowed to touch the site again. The documentation would become part of the official record. For the first time, Victoria had no confident answers. The HOA board members remained unusually quiet as neighbors discussed what they had witnessed. The atmosphere throughout the neighborhood had completely changed. As the sun disappeared behind the houses, the inspector assured Ethan that the investigation would continue according to county procedures. Ethan thanked everyone who had helped preserve the evidence. He knew the next few days would determine how the situation would be resolved. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more HOA stories every week. And tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? We'd love to know.